this will pass. As a society, as a race, we've been through this before. So with half the country in lockdown and a lot of closed businesses and things like that, I've been watching a lot of what some retailers are still doing to promote their businesses. And I understand that everyone's in desperate need of sales at the moment. Definitely come at this from a position of understanding that you got to do what you need to do to try and keep your businesses going. So what I've been thinking more about though is, and particularly with our business as well, is the opportunity that this presents on the other side of what's going on. And what I mean by that is you may have grown a business and you may not be happy particularly with the way certain things were done when you were setting up the business or continuing to be done within the business. And what this provides is an opportunity for change. So on the other side of this, a lot of industries are going to have changed. I think particularly retail will have changed. This will provide a rapid boost to online retailing. Probably forced a lot of companies that have been laggards in terms of online retailing to really quickly up their game. And I don't see that as a negative thing at all. I see it as a positive thing. So it opens up a wider revenue stream for those businesses that probably weren't online or weren't doing online very well. And I think it will bring about a more rapid improvement of last mile infrastructure. So that delivery system that existed will get better. And for the first time in, I don't know how long, I saw that the Royal Mail in the UK were hiring. And there's all this talk of, delivery services struggling. So it really is making for an interesting time. So you need to sit down and have a look. Don't look in the short term. This will pass. As a society, as a race, we've been through this before. As a big fan of history and understanding what's happened in the past, a good bit of advice would be to look at what businesses or how businesses thrived as a consequence of other large economic events like this. I mean, you could go back as recently as the GFC 10 years ago, or even go back a lot earlier than that and have a look at what happened in the early 1900s. So, or even out of the Depression, talking in terms of economic events rather than medical events, and see what businesses thrived. Obviously, you can't replicate what businesses were doing back then, like out of the war manufacturing thrived, et cetera, et cetera. So those sorts of things don't exist specifically as necessarily as opportunities, but certainly the changes to the way we do things, I think are going to be semi-permanent. So there'll be opportunities for businesses out there. If you come out of this and your crowning achievement is that you completed Netflix, then you've missed a golden opportunity to spend the next 6 months learning about what might be your passion and maybe looking at a way of turning it into a viable business. I think that sewing and cooking are going to be really popular over the next 3 to 6 months. So if you're a chef, let's say you're a chef and you've just fallen out of work, why not start a cooking show on YouTube? If you're not working at the moment and you can make basic meals out of basic ingredients that are available, show people how to, not sharpen knives properly. That's probably not a good example, but show people how to do some basic cooking processes, design recipes, those sorts of things that maybe were the reason that you got into being a chef in the first place. That content will prosper, particularly if you put it on YouTube and it's in a format that people can digest, no pun intended. That content will prosper at the moment. So if you're a hairdresser, there's all the memes getting around on social platforms about parents and bad haircuts. So why not show some people videos or teach people videos of the basics of how to perform an easy haircut? And it might even be something like shaving your head. I mean, I've done that to myself in the past and made a mess of it and had to get my wife to fix it. So that might be your way to invest in your passion and keep yourself occupied. And you just don't know what comes of that. What opportunities will come of that in the future, what that show might develop into. All these YouTubers that have massive shows now, certainly they put in hard work and put in the yards to get them to be massive shows, but they all started out with episodes where there was nobody looking at it or hardly anybody looking at it. So yeah, if you get through all this and your crowning achievement is that you've completed Netflix, then, I'd probably be disappointed. If you're looking for marketing ideas right now, it's probably a little bit distasteful to run just sales content. It's the one thing that frustrates me about the way that a lot of companies do marketing is they literally just smash sales content. And I made a video about that. So sales content is boring. It's disengaging. Nobody's interested in sales content. And when I say nobody, don't in the comments put down, oh, but I got a like and I got a comment. As a general method of using social media, in my opinion, it's just wrong. Putting sales content up all the time just disengages your audience. So you might as well just not do it. It then makes any interesting content you put up harder for people to find. So during this time when it's difficult to get sales anyway, because there are people, unfortunately, who've lost their jobs and people just generally aren't going out and doing things, why not make content to post on your social media channels? You've got nothing to lose by doing it because you probably aren't going to get any sales out of the sales posts you're putting up anyway. So why not give it a try? What have you got to lose? Nothing. So put up content pieces, talk about your business, talk about things people can do at home. So if you're an automotive business at the moment or an automotive parts retail business at the moment, I would be making massive amounts of content about how to use your products in jobs people can do at home themselves. And you might find that your audience is wider reaching than car enthusiasts. So start with simple stuff as well, like how do I change my wiper blades? How do I change my headlight globe? How do I polish out a scuff mark on my car? And make content about it. Put it on your page, and you never know if you've got an online offering as well. People might watch your video, think, wow, I could do that myself. And then naturally, because most people can make the connection, move on to your website and purchase a product. Particularly if you've got a delivery option or a click and collect option, it's absolutely what I would be doing as a strategy.